Hi everyone and welcome to this PowerPoint tutorial. This video is going to be your ultimate guide to PowerPoint animations. In this video I'm going to be using PowerPoint 2019, but I'm pretty sure that in the nearest years this workflow that we're going to be having a look at today is not going to change that much. So all of the tips I'm going to give you today in this video are still going to be applicable in the later versions of PowerPoint. So today we're going to have a look at the types of animations that you can use for your elements and text. Next, we're going to look through the control panel and all of the options that are given for you to adjust your animation. And the third part of this video is going to be about sequencing your animations, setting the duration of each animation, and setting trigger events, and some other things. Before we start, let me share with you what template for PowerPoint I'm using, because we're not going to be creating elements from scratch. We're going to be using a PowerPoint template or a PowerPoint theme, as it's also called. Since we're all busy people and we value our time, many of us cannot afford ourselves to start creating designs from scratch, especially when we have to create a lengthy presentation with lots of elements, many slides, and product placeholders, everything like that. This is why it is so easy to get a PowerPoint template. This is the one that I'm using today, and I have downloaded it absolutely for free. Using one subscription service by TemplateMonster. Here you can get tons of beautiful PowerPoint presentations and download them unlimited number of times, unlimited number of presentations for unlimited number of your projects. Besides PowerPoint templates, there are also WordPress themes, CMS themes for e-commerce platforms, also tons of plugins, diverse graphics, and all of that is with technical support, professional technical support that is ready to help you out 24/7. So this all is only $19 per month, and there are regular discounts. So subscribe to our page on Facebook, join the group. You're gonna find the links in the description. So let's wrap this introduction up. And I've opened the PowerPoint template that I have downloaded, and you get lots and lots of beautiful slides right there. There are also placeholders for images and for some product mockups. But I've chosen this slide to demonstrate some of the features of PowerPoint animations. So now what we're going to do is view the animations, because this template already goes with ready-made animations. So the creator of this template, the designer that has created this template, already applied animations to each slide. And we're going to see that if we go to Animations tab over there. So, and now we see this. I'm going to explain to you later what this all means. And once we click play, we're going to see how all those animations are working on our slide. So you have just seen what it is possible to do with some basic animations and transitions in PowerPoint. And I recommend you to always use the Animation Pane, because here you can see all of the animations that you have added to your slide, and you can see how they're going sequentially and what features they have, what type of animation it is, what trigger event it is, and we're going to have a look at all of that a little later. First off, what I want to do is delete all of these, because we're going to create our own animations from scratch. So let's delete that. Now we don't have any animations. So this Animation Pane is what opens this layers panel over here. By the way, talking about layers, click on any element, and in the Home tab, you're going to find this Arrange option, and you need the Selection pane. What is going to open is sort of a layer system. The layer system here is pretty similar to the one that you have, say, in Photoshop, Illustrator, etc. So it must look pretty familiar. So the elements that are at the top of the list are the elements that are above the other elements on the page. So here, group 104 is above the text box 46. And you can also rename any of these layers. But why do we need the selection pane opened? It's pretty simple because when we work on some elements that are pretty close to each other or overlap each other, we might accidentally click on the wrong element while editing the one that we need to edit. So this is why I recommend that you click on the element that you don't currently need and simply hide it clicking on this eye icon. So now let's finally have a look at types of animations that we have for our elements. And later we're going to try and add them to any of the elements on our slide. So once we click on the text, we see that now these options are highlighted. And the green ones are the ones that allow your element to appear on the page. So these are the appearance animations. You see there's a number of those. And once we have added the animation, you see that here on the list of animations, we have one animation that we have added with a couple icons and the name of the element. But we're going to have a closer look at this system over here in the Animations pane a little bit later. You can preview clicking this button, and also you can playback clicking this button. Now, the second type of animations is the emphasis effect. It means that this animates the element that is already present on the page and makes the viewer look at it. It means that it just grabs the attention of the viewer, changing the color, size, maybe moving it in some way like rotating, making a wave like this one. So it just attracts the attention. This is the emphasis effect. So it does not make the element appear or disappear. It just animates the already existing element. The third type of animation that you've got is exit effects. Here they are, and as you can guess, these effects make your element disappear. So it is not present on your page anymore. The fourth type of animation that you have is path animations, which is a pretty interesting one because it allows you to move your element from one point to another point. You see you have already pre-made path, a collection of the path templates, and you see that your element is going to move from the red dot over here all the way along this path to the green dot over there. And this is going to be your animation. Let's try it right now. As you see, you can draw a custom path, a curve, freeform, which is going to be the freeform path with angles, with no smooth lines. Draw line. You can draw a line, a straight line. And you can scribble something, just randomly move your cursor around, and it's going to be your path. What I want to do is first, I want to hide all of these. So I hid all of those elements. And now what we can do is to go to Path Animations and choose any of these. Let's say this circle. And now it is going to move along the circular path, and we can edit it, of course. There we go. Also, if we go to Effect Options, we're going to have a closer look at the Effect Options panel here a little bit later, because for any effect that you add, you're going to have a number of options, a number of settings that is going to allow you to customize this specific animation effect. And here you can change the path that you have already created. Like if it's a closed shape, you can change it to another closed shape. Also, you can edit the points, which allows you to drag every individual point around and make the free shape again, like that. And you can reverse the path direction, which means that the point that before was the end point becomes the start point. This might be really useful when creating the linear path, like this one. Let's draw a line. You just hold Shift to draw a straight line, so it is not like 9 degrees or something like that. Okay, I have created this line. But let's say I want this point to be the start point and I want the animation to end when the text is right here at the top. What I gotta do is to go to Effect Options and click Reverse Path Direction. And there we go. Pretty useful. So we have reviewed all of the animation types that you've got and that you can add to your elements in your PowerPoint slides. Now it is time to continue looking at the control panel over there, which is called the Animations Pane. And as I have said, I strongly recommend you use this one because it gives you a lot more options than just the panel at the top. And now you're going to see how it actually works. I have deleted all of the animations I have here, and for a change, let's choose another element. Alright, so now let's try and work with some other element. So let's say I want to animate this icon over here. As you see, it is a group. And to create a group, you gotta click Command Options G on a Mac, or just Control G if you are using Windows. As you see here, I now got 2 elements in my group. So now back to our icon. This is also a benefit of using the selection pane because you have total view and control of all of the elements on your slide. So right there, group 64, go to Animations Pane, and let's add one of these appearance animations. So I want to add the fade animation. Right, we're done there. So now, since we're having a look at the control panel, let's actually compare the options that we get in the Animations pane here, which is the control panel for our animations in our slide, and these options over here. And once you look at them in a comparison, you see that actually here you get a lot more control. For example, for now, we do not have any option effects highlighted. We only have trigger over here, which allows you to choose which element becomes the element that you need to click on to trigger the animation, which is not what we really need right now. So now let's look at the settings here. So the first tab that you get, let's actually close all of those. Effect options. Right there, you can choose what's going to happen after the animation is done, after it's finished. So either don't dim, which is going to mean that the element stays on the page once it's animated, once the animation is finished. Then hide after animation. What that does is once the animation is finished, the element disappears, pretty obvious, and hide on next mouse click. Also, you can add sounds, and in some specific animations, usually when it is about movement, you can change the interpolation of that movement. So make it smooth at the start or at the end, also make it bounce, which is also a pretty nice feature. Then timing. You see these tiny icons over here? This one simply means that this type of animation is the appearance animation. Once you add, let's say, the emphasis effect animation, this icon here is going to be yellow, meaning that this type of the animation is the emphasis effect. This second cursor icon over here means that the animation is going to start after a click, so it's going to be triggered on click. And this is where you can change that. So you have 3 options here. With previous, which means that this animation is going to start at the same time with the previous animation, or after previous, which means that this animation is going to become sequential. It is going to start right after the previous animation on the slide is finished. This is why you have a list here. In this list, you have elements in order, which starts from the top and goes to the bottom. So you see that now icons have changed. First, we had 1 here, and now we have 0. And we had the cursor icon, now we have a tiny clock. Then the duration, you can change the duration of the animation. You can choose one of the offered options or type in the custom value. Also, you can set the delay. And what number of times you want this animation to repeat. If you choose as a part of a click sequence, this animation is going to be triggered according to the sequence in this list over here. And on click, gives you the list of the elements present on the page, and once you click on the element that you have chosen here, this animation is going to be triggered. So in order to make this animation happen, I need to click on this title. So this is what it means. Usually you want it to be as a part of click sequence. Now, another great option that you have here is the ability to copy all of the animation that you have applied to a certain element onto another element. So let's look at this rocket over here. You see that I have 3 animations applied here, 3 animations of the different type. Now, what we're gonna do here is to click Animation Painter. This is the tool that allows you to copy the animations from one element to another element. And simply, as long as this element is selected, choose the element and click on it with your cursor. You see that you have a little icon next to your mouse cursor. So just click on the other element, and all of the same settings are going to be applied to this icon here. Another feature that you're going to find in the Animations pane here in your control panel are the text animation settings. But the text animation is something that I would like to explain in a separate video. So now let's click on the text element on our slide. Let's now choose the effect with which it's going to appear. Here it goes. And on the control panel in here, we have another tab, a new tab, which we didn't have with the other elements, which is called Text Animations. Here you can choose how you want this text to be animated. The entire piece at once, the entire object, like one thing, or by one word, or by one letter. So the animation is going to be applied to either the entire object, to every single word, or to every single letter. And the group text. This one only works when you have a paragraph of text with multiple lines. Like we have right here. So now we have a number of options in there. Choosing among these options allows you to choose how you want to break this text down. Do you want it to appear paragraph after paragraph, line after line, etc.? And on our channel, you can find a separate video on the text animations in PowerPoint 2019. So if you want to learn more about text animations, kindly check out that video. Now on another slide, let's have a look at how we can sequence our elements and make them appear after specific events. So here you can see that on this slide, we don't have any elements that are triggered on the mouse click, which means that all that is needed for these animations to be triggered is the end of the previous animation. So once the previous animation is done, the next animation is going to happen. So the animations do not need any mouse clicks to be triggered to get started. They just get started by themselves. So this is what this set means. And as you see, the animation starts with this element, and now it is highlighted here. Then we select this element, and it is highlighted over here. If you feel more comfortable, you can go ahead and change the names of the elements so you do not get confused. Like text box. Call it big text box. Or maybe advanced map pretty obvious. The group over here. You can call it map, so that once we see it in Animations pane, we see what element is actually being animated. Over here, let's go to timing and say on click. The digit here simply means after how many clicks this sequence is gonna be triggered. Let's try this out right now. Let's go and open this slide. So now it has stopped. Now I need to click my mouse once in order for this animation to proceed. Let's exit now. So let's say I don't want this text box to appear before I click my mouse the second time. And I need to select this element here, go to timing, select on click, and you see that this digit has now changed, which means that this sequence starting from this element is going to be triggered after the second mouse click. And as you see, these elements do not have the clock icon. This simply means that they all are going to happen at the same time. So these animations are going to be happening simultaneously. Now let's test this out. So here it has stopped. Now let's click. Here we go. And we don't see the text object appearing. What we need to do is to click one more time. But you might have a question. Why, if I have said that the elements that do not have any icon here in the second column for the icons, they happen simultaneously? If we clearly see that once we play back, let's play back right now. Once we play back, we see that first the titles here appear, then the background of the progress bars appear, then the progress bar fills up with color, and then we see the appearance of the percentage. The answer is pretty simple. Once we click on the element, we see that delay here and duration here is 0.5 seconds. And both delay and duration are the same for these four elements. But then we click on this one, which is the background for this progress bar. Here we see that the duration is still 0.5 seconds, but the delay is 1 second. I'm going to try to break it down. So this animation starts a half a second after this animation is finished and lasts a half of a second, which means a second in total, 1 second. So once we add up the duration of this animation and the delay after which it happened, we're going to have 1 second, which is exactly the delay before the start of the animation of this element, of the background of this progress bar. And we have the same here with the color of the progress bars. In this case, the delay is 1.5 seconds, which means the longevity of this first animation added the longevity of the second animation of the progress bar background, and we're going to have the perfect start time for this color in the progress bar over here. Also, let me show you one trick. Once you select several elements in here, they might have different trigger events, they might have different settings, the duration settings, etc. Once you click on this drop down and select one option, the settings of all of these elements are going to be changed to the current one that you have just chosen. The duration, let's increase the duration, or let's go to animations. And we can choose the animation and add it to all of these elements, and it's going to be applied to all of them. And yeah, it is going to replace the existing animations. Also, on our channel, we have a separate video on everything about animating charts, graphs, and any other imagery that you create using the data from Excel, for example. So if you're interested in animating charts and graphs, check out that video on our channel. And for today's video, that's pretty much it. We have had a look at all the types of animation that are available in PowerPoint 2019. We have learned how to work with the control panel, which is the Animations pane. We learned how to put all our elements in a sequence and make them appear one after another, and change the duration, the delay, etc. for the animations of our objects. Now this is time to wrap up this tutorial. Also, if there are any questions left, feel free to ask them in the comments under this video. Any feedback is highly appreciated. And if you found this video helpful, leave the like, subscribe to our channel and share this video so we know that you liked this tutorial. So go ahead, try all of the tips that you have learned in this tutorial on your own presentations and let us know the results in the comments section down below. Also, don't forget to check out the amazing PowerPoint templates that you can find on one.templatemonster.com and the subscription itself, which for only $19 per month offers you a giant collection of products such as PowerPoint templates, WordPress themes, CMS themes, plugins, and much more. So I thank you guys for watching, thank you for your attention, and see you in another tutorial.